Hello everyone, welcome. This is your Hatha flow practice, your intermediate practice. A little different to the foundation practice, so please mindfully apply. We'll always come into each posture step by step, so feel free to play around to the point that you're comfortable. Ever feel like you've gone too far, please do come back a step from there. To get started, I'll encourage you to be in a seated position. Any cross-legged variation is welcomed, any meditative position is welcomed. And lift the spine with your primary awareness. Choosing a hand gesture or mudra if you're comfortable and it's helpful. Sit as tall as you can, eyes closed and the mouth closed. And just allowing yourself a moment to really arrive and to land on your mat. Create space for your practice. In an effort to really draw your awareness towards your practice and away from whatever's been occupying your mind. Whatever's been holding your attention since your last practice. We'll become aware of the physical body. Take a moment to check in. Just notice how body feels. Begin at the head, the very crown of the head, and allow your awareness to move through body, noticing along the way. Any areas of particular tension, be there for a moment. When you've arrived at the toes, move all the way back up through the body and move into the headspace with a mental inquiry of how am I feeling? What are the energy levels like? What is the mood like? Are you feeling present? Are you feeling agitated? Frustrated? Just notice. And with this attuned presence of mind, we'll softly bring the attention and focus upon the breath. And we'll experience the breath very center of the belly, without trying to create. Just allow breath to flow. Note how belly rises with the incoming breath, how belly falls with the outgoing breath. And continue with this awareness for a moment. Belly rise with the incoming breath. Belly falls with the outgoing breath. If your mind begins to wander, any sounds, any sensations, any thoughts, being patient, being compassionate with yourself, each time bring it back to the belly. Rising with the incoming breath, falling with the outgoing breath. Namaskar Mudra. If it's comfortable for you, palms are lightly pressed in front of the chest. Taking a moment to set an intention or dedication for your practice. Release your hands. Chin to chest. A few gentle blinks, opening of the eyes. Namaste. We'll softly raise the knees up. Maintain the legs crossed over. You can clasp in front of the knees or the shins, or you can go for wrists or forearm. If you're playing around a little, you can grab the outer edge of the feet. The right comes around the outside and grabs the left foot. The left arm comes around the outside and grabs the right foot. Very comfortable, elevate your feet a little up off the mat. And it's just good to draw your thighs a little closer to your chest. If it feels good, feet a little higher, still good, thighs a little closer. But don't fight for depth. No matter where you are, you're breathing. Very comfortable. So, if you turn your gaze to your right, mindful of the balance, maintain the length in the spine, the length in the neck. Back through the center and to your left. And back to center, smoothly back. We'll ground the feet. We'll unravel the legs and then coming onto your back. So releasing onto your back, coming into a Setu bridge pose setup. So lie flat on the back with the knees bent, hands over the sides of the body. Slide your heel in towards the fingertip to the point where you're almost stepping on the fingertip. The intention is your knee almost over the ankle. Chin is in a mild double chin. All is well here. Pressurizing the feet lightly into the mat and lift just to the lower back. So feet are pressurized. This is the first step of the bridge pose. You're raising to that point. So if you were to check in, the buttock muscles and back of the hips and the lower portion of the back is slightly lifted. Note that the middle back is grounded, so the ribs, back of the ribs, upper back, and the head is grounded comfortably. Now if all is well here, we'll maintain this elevation and we'll softly push the hips side to side. A slower, steadier movement. As you push the hip, feel at the middle back in particular, the back of your ribs maintains that connection with the ground. Beautiful. Coming to rest with the movement. Still maintain the same elevation and same engagement of the ribs in particular. We're going for the twisting of the pelvis now. So all is well, you'll be raising one side of the pelvis up, higher than the other. You continue with this movement. Note as you twist through the pelvis that you're not shortening the waist. The waist maintains the same length. It's a slight twist, and that middle back is still connected. The chin, mild double chin. Breath flows. Beautiful. Come to rest with the twist through the pelvis. This is good here. We will work with shortening of the waist. We want to be hiking one side of the hip up and the other hip will draw down. So one hip will drop towards the shoulder, the other hip will draw down towards the feet. Then continue with this movement. A slower and steadier movement. Remembering if you move quickly, you often skip over movement. You can often move into discomfort and pain or even through it. So don't fight. Note the body's reaction. A slower, more subtle movement. That middle back is still connected. Beautiful. So if you come to rest with this hiking of the hips, very comfortable going for a tilt and a tuck of the pelvis. Your hands can be done with the sides of the body, or you can have your hands on either side of the hip as a little feedback, as a little helping with the note the tilt. So as best you can, a little tilt and a little tuck. And continue with this movement. Note that the connection of the middle back is still maintained. The back of the neck and the chin is still comfortable. Beautiful. Your next inhale, as you tuck the pelvis under, continue through the lower, then explore the middle, so the ribs lift and the upper, maybe some of the shoulder blades raise up off the mat, but no pressure on the neck. Exhale, releasing down, upper, middle, lower back. Inhale, pressurize your feet, lower, middle, upper, expand the chest. Exhale, releasing down, smoothly down through each vertebra. Draw the thighs in towards the chest, a little rolling side to side. Now you're welcome to continue with your rolling, and if you have any sensitivity in the lower back throughout the practice at this very moment, even or to the neck, perhaps you do continue with the rolling. But if all is well, we'll go for a few rounds of rocking. You can extend the legs just a little bit away from you, the lower legs rather, so you create space to hook behind the thighs. You can clasp behind the thighs, with the hands on thighs, go for wrist form, very comfortable, you're going for opposite elbow. Now often with the rocking, if you are familiar, we usually work towards rocking towards middle back, maybe a little higher. But we're going to focus just on the weight below the waist region. So below the rib and towards the hip, maybe a little bit lower. So it's quite a small rock. I'll encourage you to lift your head, chin towards your chest, and it will maintain elevated. Move with the breath, inhale, slight rock back, exhale, slight rock up. Focusing on the lower back region, but no pressure. Note that you're not knocking the breath out of yourself. Below the navel is in the edge. The thighs remain a fixed distance from the chest. Now this is good, you pause for a brief moment. You can continue with this direction, but if you're just playing around, the intention is a 360 through the rocking. It's the same movement, the chin remains towards the chest, so you're not using your head to jerk back. The thighs remain a fixed distance from the chest. Breathe, inhale back, exhale up. And slightly begin to rotate around. Just play, no fight. Back to center. Once you've returned to center, no rush to get here. Ground the head. Release the clasp of the legs. Ground the feet. Return to that Setu Bandhasana, that bridge pose setup. Hands on the sides of the body. Heel towards the fingertips. The back of the ribs and the back of the head is comfortably grounded. If this is good here, working just with the right leg. We're going to raise the right leg up. Raise the knee up toward the knees, almost over the hip. And also raise the lower leg up. So you're creating a 90 degree between the back of the calf muscle and back of the thigh. All is well here. Check in with your left hand for a brief moment. Take it behind the lower back. And you'll notice, ordinarily, there will be just a mild arch through the lower back when the pelvis is in a neutral position. A slight arching through the back. If this is good here, keeping the left hand where it is. As you exhale, bring your thigh towards your chest. You maintain a 90 degree bend in the leg. Bring the thigh a little bit towards the chest to the point that a little pressure appears in the hand. So you know that the pelvis is tucking under. As you inhale, allow your thigh to move away from the body to the point that you can feel that this mild arch occurs again as a little pressure is taken off the hand. And continue between these 2 points. As you exhale, a little closer. As you inhale, a little further away. Small movements. And continue with your breath for a few rounds. Notice that you're not extending the lower leg straight. You maintain that 90 degree bend in the knee. You're working directly from your hip. So the thigh is just extending away from the body. Beautiful. Your next inhale, when you bring the knee and the thigh to the point where just that lower back arch occurs, so that neutral position through the spine almost. Bring your right hand through the lower back even and the pelvis. Bring your right hand and place on the right knee. Now we want to maintain this 90 degree bend in the knee. We want to work with the internal and external rotation. Think the thigh moving, which will be moving from your hip, the lower leg will move also. So to externally rotate, we want to work as if you're trying to turn the thigh out. The lower leg will turn in, so that the right heel will work towards the left knee. Keeping the knee in the same position, turning the leg outwards. So you're trying to turn the thigh inward. So you're internally rotating. Continue for a few rounds. Inhale as you exhale, as you internally rotate. Exhale, internal. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, smaller movements. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Smoothly back to center. Then 90 degree bend in the knee. All is well here. Place both hands in the front of the hips. The intention is to keep this hip lining now. Maintain a 90-degree bend in the right knee. As you inhale, open up the right leg to the right. But only to the point that the left hip doesn't raise. Perhaps in the first instance, you open up wide and feel where the hip lifts up. Then you come back from that point. So you know you want to work this edge each time that the hip lifts, just before that. As you exhale back to center. Inhale, opening it up. Feel for reaction inside of your own groin, inner thigh. Exhale, center. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Super. Ground the right foot now. Bring it into the safety bandhasana setup on the right side. All as well, take your right hand just be around the lower back. Feel a mild arch. Then raise the left leg up. So knee over hip initially. 90-degree bend in the knee. Then all is well here. Bring the thigh towards the chest to the point that you can feel a little pressure pressed against your right hand, which is just underneath your lower back. So you notice the pelvis tucking. Then release the thigh away from the body to the point that you can feel that mild arch reoccurs. Exhale towards the body. Inhale away. And continue for a few rounds. Note that you're not extending the left leg straight. We're almost maintaining the bend in the 90-degree bend on the knee. You work from the hip so the thigh just works away from the body. Beautiful. Next time your thigh starts to move away from the body, you can feel that mild arch begins to occur. Maintain it there. You can release your right hand from being underneath the lower back region. The left hand can rest on the knee, maintaining the 90-degree bend, that internal external rotation. So as best you can, as you inhale, externally rotate, you're trying to turn the thigh to face out, the lower leg will turn in. Exhale, internally rotate. Inhale, exhale, work from the hip. Inhale, exhale, keep the knee in the same position. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Beautiful. Back to a neutral position. Ankle, knee and hip work in a straight line. Taking both hands, placing them on the front of the hip. Your next inhale, keep the 90-degree bend of the left knee, but allow the left leg to roll to the side. Allow it to come to the point where the right hip raises up. So you know that's the point that you don't want to go to. Just before that point. So bring the leg back up to the point where you can feel the right hip is grounding. This is where you want to return to each time. Next exhale, smoothly raise it back up to the starting position. Inhale, opening it up. Exhale, coming back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Super. Draw the right knee and the left knee in towards the chest and a little rolling side to side. Super. Come to rest with your rolling. Keep the thighs relatively close to the chest. Hands down the sides of the body. Back of the ribs grounding. Chin in a mild double chin. All is well here. Begin to cycle a tiny bike. So pushing one leg out and bending the knee, drawing it in towards the chest. But real slow and steady. Slower than you think. As it gets more challenging, often we want to move quicker. We'll move slower if we can. Allow the breath to flow. If your tiny bike feels good, you progress into a more medium-sized bike. So as you straighten your legs and you drop your leg down, it's coming a little bit closer towards the ground. But note the reaction. You're lifting your ribs as the legs go lower. Perhaps you need to remain on a tiny bike. Don't fight for that. Your tiny bike feels good. Coming to quite a large bike. So when you straighten your legs, you drop your heel as close as you can towards the ground. Breathe. as well here. Reverse direction. Reversing direction with a large bike if you're there, whatever size bike you're on. Reversing direction. So your leg extends along the ground straight and up towards the ceiling and bend the knee in towards the chest. Slower than you think. Stepping into a more medium-sized bike. And then into a tiny bike. Beautiful, and knees in towards your chest, a little rolling side to side. You're welcome to roll to your side and gently push up, but if all is well, one rock back and then rock up, but no dizziness. Take your time as you come up. We'll unravel the legs, we'll send the legs a little bit behind, coming into Vagraswasta setup, so tiger breathing setup, on all fours, and we'll shift towards the back of the mat. Shifting towards the back of your mat to the point where your knees are on the mat, or you can even go beyond if it feels good. You're taking a moment, hands on the knees, gaze a little front. Raise just your right hand and your left knee, but note that the top of the left foot is still grounded. Then simultaneously step the right hand front and the left knee front. Then the left hand and the right knee raised, but the top of the foot remains grounded. Then simultaneously step front and come to ground. Right hand, left knee. Left hand, right knee, right hand, left knee, left hand, right knee, right hand, left knee. Once you've reached a point that you can't go anymore, you reverse directions. So in this instance, the left knee and the right hand simultaneously back, the right knee and the left hand, left knee and the right hand, right knee and the left hand. And we'll continue for 3 more rounds at your own pace. Going to the length of your mat. Allow the breath to flow. You can go beyond the length of your mat if you have the space in the room. It's not so much about how quickly you go through the movement, rather how slow and steady you go through the movement. No force for depth. Don't rush. Beautiful. Now next time you return to the back of your mat, be there for a moment. Now you're welcome to continue with this movement. This builds your practice beautifully in the crawling motion. But if all is well, you can deepen it a little further by tucking the toes. This feels good, you raise the knee. Now what often happens is we raise the hip also. You want to keep the hip on the level it's on. It's almost in line with the shoulder. Now the intention from here is the same movement as the crawling, so left hand and the right knee front. So lead with the knee. The knee will come towards the forearm. Often we try and step the right foot front and our hips will hike up. So as best you can, keep the knee low to the ground. All is well, left hand, right knee, right hand, left knee. And continue for 3 rounds. Make sure you're breathing. Like the crawling, slower, more controlled movement. Next time you return to center, as best you can, raising the knees. If necessary, keep the knees grounded. This is good. Step the left foot to your left and step the right foot a little to your left. Then your left hand comes close to your right hand and your right hand takes a step away. So we're going to rotate around. Left foot, right foot, and the left hand and the right hand. Left foot, right foot, left hand, right hand. Left foot, then the right foot, left hand, right hand, left foot, then the right foot, left hand, then the right hand, left foot, right foot, left hand, then the right hand, left foot, right foot, left hand, and then the right hand. left foot, right foot, and then the left hand. This is good here. Once you've returned back to center, pushing back, readjusting from Balasana, allow the arms to be straight, pushing into the inner calf muscle, inner thigh, but no pressure on the knee. If this is challenging, bring your feet as close as you need to, and you can allow the heels to raise, no pressure or force. Chin draws a little back. Breathe, settle and steady the breath. Beautiful. This is good here. Begin to raise your hip up, but keep the chest rather low and readjust your feet. If your feet were closer and the heels are raised, come take your feet about shoulder distance apart. And feet are parallel, so if the toes are turned out, turn your toes in a little. We're thinking knee over ankle, so raise your hip as high as necessary and then lean back to the point that you can achieve knee directly over ankle. Then this is good, you can proceed to drop the hip down. The intention is dropping the hip down to the point where hip is in line with the knee, and then knee in line with the ankle. Palms to press, then the chest drops down in between the thighs. A few steady breaths here. Beautiful, this is good. Extend your arms straight. You can have them pointing down initially. Little practice in line with the ears. Push the feet into the mat. Inhale, slowly up. Can we go all the way up? Really extend the toes, sternum back, shoulders are free, steady breath. Super. Bending at the elbow, clasp with opposite wrist, elbow or forearm. Shoulders are free. Sternum is back. Next exhale, fold to your right. And be there for a moment. Inhale back. Exhale to your left. Sternum back, shoulders are free. Notice the straight line working across the front of the hips. Often as we force for depth, we'll get twisted and even and one of the knees can bend. As best you can. Both legs work a little straighter. If there is a bend in the knee, they're both bend equally. Beautiful. Inhale. Smoothly back all the way up. Extend the arms straight. On the exhale, release the arms out to the side. Work to shoulder height if you can. If your wall isn't too close, readjust as you need to. Shoulder height. Then step the feet together. Toes and heels to touch. Spine is lifted. Focusing on a point in front of you to help maintain the balance. Pivot on the right heel, turn the right foot out a little, or a lot even. So there's a 90-degree between the inside edges of the feet. Recognize the right hip will drop back, but as best you can, maintain the squaring. Then bend the right knee, lift the heel. Just feel the weight switch into your left foot. Now you can be as you are. A little practice, however, raise the right leg. You want to maintain the squaring of the hips, so if necessary, bring the right leg front as much as you need to achieve the squaring. Spine is lifted, focus on your point. This feels good. Slowly bring it through the center. See if you can raise a little higher. Both hips working level. Below the navel, base of pelvic is active. Superb. Next exhale. Release the right to meet the left. Release the hands for a brief moment. into Tadasana, shear the even weight in the feet. How lifted is your spine? If you're feeling like the shoulders are challenged or uncomfortable, hands in the hips. If you're feeling steady or mindfully challenging in your practice, extend the arms shoulder height. Pivot on the left heel now, square the hip as best you can. Bend the knee, lift the heel, feel the weight in the right foot. Feel steady, raise the left foot a little, all as well, raise the thigh high. Bring the leg as far front as you need to achieve that squaring across the front edge of the hip. Focus on your point. Breathe. Super. Coming back through the center as best you can, or coming to the center for the first time. With the left leg, raise the thigh a little higher, base of pelvic, lower belly is lightly active. Recognize where the ribs are. Often in an effort to mimic or achieve length and height, we'll trust the ribs, so start them a little back. Focus on your point. Exhale, release. Left to meet the right. Tadasana. Stand nice and tall. Turning towards the front edge of your mat, or making your way to the front edge of your mat. A foot's distance or so from the front. Feet shoulder distance apart or a little wider. Hands on the hips, knees soft. Take an inhale. Exhale, begin to fold front. Choosing an appropriate depth for you. Releasing the hands, grab the ankle or the shin. Next inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, folding deep. Torso towards the thighs. No dizziness or shortness of breath. Please choose an appropriate depth for you. Beautiful. Next inhale, lift the head, the gaze is front, lift the chest also. Release the hands to be in front of your feet. Your knees should be almost directly over your ankle. As you exhale, bend the knee. Drupka Utkatasana. You bend the knee to the point as best you can where you can maintain the knee over the ankle. The hip will drop down towards almost in line with the knee. Palms to press. Then draw your chest down in between your thighs as best you can. A few steady breaths. Remember, you're never fighting for depth. Beautiful. Release your hands in front of your feet. The fingertips are the palms, and walk your feet towards the back of the mat. Adho Mukha Svanasana, the downward facing dog. A good distance between the hands and the feet, torso back towards the thighs, but mindful you're not pushing with the ribs back. Keep the sternum a little drawn back, then lengthen with the whole of the torso back. Gaze straight down. If there's any challenge in the shoulder, lower back, bend the knee, you can take rest at any moment. If it feels good, you're here. Beautiful. Now if this feels good, keep the distance between the feet, pivot on the toes, and bring the heels together to make a V shape. Now you can come from whichever way is necessary. One smooth step, or a few steps, we're going to step the right foot front. Then walk your hands to your left, pivot on your right heel, then readjust your feet to the point where the heels are in line and the feet are working towards parallel. Fingertips are on the mat below the head, and you can raise your torso towards parallel to the mat. That's achievable for you. Gaze lightly front. And this is good here Turn your right toes out a little, they're almost pointing towards the right edging of the mat, right corner of the mat even. And same on the left side. It's almost like a 45-degree angle you turn the toes out. Now hands will remain centre, fingertips are the palm. Your next exhale, we're going to bend at the right knee. The knee is going to bend in the direction of the toes. Once you've reached your comfortable edge, the right forearm pressurizes against the inner edge of the right thigh. So you're not at the knee, at the thigh, and the thigh will push back against the forearm. Inhale back to centre, both legs straight. Exhale to your left. Left forearm now pushes against the thigh. Inhale, centre. Exhale, right. Inhale, centre. Exhale, left. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And be there for a moment if comfortable. Maintain a light pressure, forearm against the thigh, thigh resists against the forearm. No movement, just a little resistance that's created. Note where you feel it. Inhale, exhale, left. Maintain it there for a moment. Create a little resistance if comfortable. Breathe. Beautiful. Inhale back to center. All is well here. Turn your toes in so you're bringing your feet back to parallel. Hands can come to your waist or your hips. If it's fairly comfortable, take the hands behind. Interlace the fingers, roll the chest. Exhale, folding deeply. Any degree is welcome. Work from the hip. Real active engagement to base of pelvic and lower belly. Encouraging a good rotation at the hip. Beautiful. Inhale smoothly back. Releasing the hands and returning to the position we were a brief moment ago. Below the head, fingertips to the palm. Returning the feet out to that 45-degree angle. Now you can work with the first variation of bending the knee and placing the hand against the forearm. But if all is well, you can bend deeply. If necessary, you can allow the right heel to raise. The left heel will pivot, the toes draw back towards you. As best you can, hands can be grounded. Inhale, center. Stay as low as you can. Exhale to your left. Inhale, center. Exhale to your right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Best you can. Allow the right heel to raise or to pivot, push heel away. Pivoting on the heel, toes back towards you. Left heel can raise if required. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale smoothly back to center, both legs straight. Turn the feet into parallel. Then turn the left toes in a little. Begin to walk your hands towards the right foot. Pivot on the right heel, toes point front. Sweep the right hand outside of the right foot. Left hand comes left side. Pivot on the left toes. And then the right foot. Back to meet the left as best you can. Coming into Adho Mukha Svanasana, your downward facing dog. Good distance between the hands and the feet. Torso back towards the thigh. You can take rest at any moment by grounding the knees. Feels good, you're up. Super. Now if this feels good here, you raise your right foot up slightly and turn your right foot, the toes point to the left foot. Grounding the outer edge of the right foot, so the ankle side of the foot, the outer ankle edge, the little toe side. Ground the edge of the foot. You're welcome to step the left foot front here and keep the hip lifting. You can be here and work from this point. If it feels good and steady though, The left foot can stack on top of the right. Furthermore, you can extend the left arm up. Feels good? Gaze to the hand. But don't fight for depth. No fight through the right shoulder. Any challenge in the neck, gaze side or gaze down. No matter where you are, you're breathing. Exhale, smoothly rolling. Back to the downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Good distance maintained between the hands and the feet. Really spread your fingers, spread your thumbs. Beautiful. Now on the left side. Raise the left foot up a little, then turn the foot so you want to ground the outer edge of the foot. You're thinking left ankle is in line with the wrist. You can step your right foot front, and you can work from here, extending the right arm up, but no challenge on the neck if you gaze up. If this is steady, however, the right foot is stacking on top of the left, recognize if the hip is drawing down or dropping down towards the ground. Keep the hip lifted. This is good, extend the right arm. You're very comfortable, the gaze is towards the thumb. Be there for a moment. Next exhale, slowly roll in. Back to the downward facing dog. The good distance maintained between the hands and the feet. I'm going to bend in both knees. The gaze is front. As best you can, you're taking right knee behind the right wrist, toe in line with the knee. Left knee behind the left wrist, toe also in line with the knee. Then gently roll up. Stand tall on the knees. Any sensitivity on the knees, please do double over the mat as you need to. Heel of the palm comes towards the back of the hip, the upper buttock muscles, fingers pointing down, elbows towards each other, slight tuck of the pelvis and chin towards the chest. You can be here. This is beautiful work, but if all is well, keep that slight tuck and hip pushing front. Chin towards chest, exhale, feel an arch. Very comfortable, reach back with one hand is part of your practice, the other hand. Very comfortable, you can release the head back. But please note that you're not sitting back, buttock muscle towards the heel. Keep the hip pushing front. A long and steady breath. Any challenge in the neck, please don't force to release the head back. Beautiful. Inhale, head halfway back first. Then left hand across the front of the body to right hip. Right hand across the front of the body to left hip. Then sit all the way down into Virasana, the hero's pose. You can maintain the knees apart. The intention is sliding the hip down the inner edge of the heel so the bum is coming to the ground and spine is lifted. Please be aware if this presents a challenge for you, bring your knees and bring your feet together and you can be here. If either of these variations are uncomfortable, any cross-legged position will do. Choosing which is best for you. No matter where you choose to be, your spine is lifted, you're sitting as tall as you can. Extend your right arm front. Hunch the shoulder up and draw it front. So this is where you don't want to be. So shoulder comes back and then shoulder comes down. You're trying to hold it here and maintain the arm straight. This is good. Begin to draw the right arm across to the body to the point that you can maintain arm straight and the shoulder maintain that drawn down and back position. Very comfortable, your left arm hooks underneath up around the right upper arm. Perhaps you can draw the arm over a little further, but note that you're not turning through the torso, you're not twisting through the torso. This is good here once you've reached your comfortable edge. The right pushes against the left and the left against the right. Chin draws back a little. Left ear, left shoulder. Be there for a moment. Beautiful inhale, coming back with the head. Then extend the arms out in front. Keep the left arm extended but release the right arm for a brief moment. Left shoulders back and down. Arms maintained straight. Left hand starts to come across the front of the body towards right side, but only to the point that the arm is straight. Hook the right arm underneath now. This is good. Maybe a little further drawn across. Then create the resistance. Left against right, right against left. Chin, mild double chin. Then very comfortable. Right ear, right shoulder. And be there. Beautiful. Inhale back to center with the head. Extend both arms straight. Then releasing of your hands. If you're in the full Virasana or Vajrasana, whichever variation, please be mindful as you take your hands front. Slowly raising the knees. Now without straightening the legs, tuck the toes under. Note that the hands are shoulder distance apart. You raise the knee. And walk your feet towards the back of the mat into Adho Mukha Svanasana, your downward facing dog. Maintain a bend in the knee, not suddenly straightening the legs. A long steady breath. Really spread your fingers, grounding of the palms. After a few moments you feel steady, soft, you need to straighten the legs but not entirely. So you're keeping the toes where they are and you're bending one knee, stretching the opposite heel towards the ground. But not fighting for a straight leg straight away, don't force. Softly walk out your legs. And then the next time you bend your right knee, maintain it bent, stretch the left heel to the mat, and the ball of the left foot is dragging your mat towards the back of the room, back of the mat away. Breathe really well. Recognize that your shoulders come in front. Often when we get fatigued, our shoulders will come front. As best you can, endeavour to maintain the length. Then bend the left knee and the right heel stretches now, and the ball of the right foot is dragging mat towards room, back of room, or dragging mat backward. Then bend both knees, the gaze is front, whichever way is necessary for you. You can half front if it's part of your practice, or you can walk one leg front at a time. Crossing the legs over, then coming on your back. Onto your back, knees in towards your chest. Soft roll side to side, side to side even. Come to rest with your rolling. Grounding the feet in that Setu Bandhasana setup, that bridge pose setup. Hands on the sides of the body, heel towards the fingertip. The knee is over the ankle, and note that if your knees are dropping in towards each other, can you have your knees working in the direction of the toes? Chin in a mild double chin. Just like the start of your practice, push your feet actively into the mat and raise the hip from that point, but just the lower back. So the buttock muscle, the hips, and the lower portion of the spine is lifted. Check in with your hands to know that the ribs, the middle back, and the upper back is grounded and the head is in a comfortable position. This is good here. Your side to side movement. Pushing the hip side to side. And just inquire. Notice. What's the difference at the start of your practice? Beautiful. Come to rest with the side to side movement. Your hands are welcome to come on the side of your hips now. Maintain the middle back rather grounded. You want to be raising one hip higher than the other, so twisting the pelvis. But slow and intentional movement. Can you keep the back of the ribs grounded? Can you disassociate the movement through the pelvis and movement through ribs? Creating a more supple, more open waist. Beautiful. Come to rest with the twisting of the pelvis. Your hands are welcome to stay in the position they're in if they're on the hips. You want to be shortening the waist on one side and lengthening on the other, so as best you can. Hiking one hip up towards the shoulder and the other draws down towards the foot. Slow and intentional movement. Notice that the knees will move a little bit away also. Slower than you think. Breath is flowing. Super. Come to rest with the hiking movement. Still elevated if you can, but note the middle back still grounded. So there will be a tilt. Hands can be in the same position on the hip. A tilt and a tuck. Continue for a few rounds of tilt and tuck. Inhale, tilt. Exhale, tuck. Beautiful. Next time we talk to pelvis, maintain tuck, release your hands over the sides of the body if they are on the hips. Then as you inhale, pressurize your feet, maintain that lift to the lower back, then progress to the upper back, or the middle back, my apologies, then the upper back. Exhale, how slow and steady can you release down? Upper, middle, lower back, the feet are firm, the knees are pointing in the direction of your toes. Inhale, smoothly push the hip. Exhale, release. Inhale, push the hip. Exhale, release. Inhale, push the hip. And we're very comfortable be there, but the neck remains steady. Gaze straight up towards the ceiling. Feels good. Tucking the shoulders under the back almost. Bringing the hands together. Interlace the fingers. Lifting up the spine. Lifting up the chest a little further. Lifting up the hip a little further even. A beautiful expansion through the chest. But there's no pressure on your neck to achieve the bind. Feel how firm your feet are. This is your route. Breathe. Beautiful, all is well here. Or keep lifted, or release the bind of the fingers on top of your shoulders as you exhale, release down to upper, middle, and then the lower back. Edge your feet together, toes and heels come to touch. Extend your right or left leg even, left leg straight. Draw the right thigh towards the chest. The left hand will grab on the right knee or towards the thigh if comfortable. The right hand comes straight out shoulder height. Palm faces down. If there's lack of space perhaps, or if it's uncomfortable, you can go into a cactus arm, that 90-degree bend. Your next exhale, draw the right leg over towards the left side of the body. Gaze to the right if comfortable for the neck. Your focus here is grounding the back of the right shoulder. So if your right shoulder is elevated up, can you come back to where you can ground the shoulder, then get twisted from there. Inhale, center. Exhale, release the right. Bend the left knee, drawing towards the chest. Grab the left around the knee or perhaps the thigh with the right hand. Extend the left arm to the side, shoulder height, palm down, or cactus arm, palm up. As you exhale, get nice and twisted. Left knee to the right, gaze to the left. Maintain it there for a moment. Back of left shoulder firmly grounded. Beautiful. Inhale, back to center. Keep the bend in the left knee. Bend the right knee also. So both knees are in close to the chest, hands over the sides of the body. Chin is a mild double chin. Now this is good, just allow your thighs to come away from the body to the point that the knee is over the hip. So your thighs are vertical. But notice where your ribs are. Ribs are maintained back and down. Mild arch perhaps to the lower back, mindful of excessive arching. And be here. Chin and mild double chin. This feels good. Take your knees to be hip width apart. So little hip distance between the knees and the feet also. Very comfortable now. Without disturbing the position of the thigh, just raise the lower leg. Now the eventual intention is raising up to parallel, the ankle in line with the knee. So shin is parallel to the mat. Recognize you lift your ribs to achieve this. You lift your chin back, ribs back. Maintain the connection. Maybe mild arch through lower back. Think more engaged through base of pelvic. Really, really long and steady. Very comfortable. Extend your right arm up. Still good. Extend your left arm up. The shoulders draw down, like draw back even. Really, really well. No force in the breath. Note that if it's too challenging at any moment, come back a step. Note the steps you've taken. Beautiful. Next exhale, draw your knees rather in towards your chest. Grab your legs, head towards the knees around the spine, nice tight pot. Inhale, release there. Release the legs. Release and rest in Shavasana, the end of your practice. Readjusting your position. Coming into a position that is best for you, where you can be completely effortless. What would that look like? Where would that be? And when you feel that the body has arrived, or is beginning to arrive, when the movement subsides, welcome stillness. Welcome stillness, allow it to move through the entire body. Up through the feet, the ankles, the calf muscles, the knees and the thighs. Moving through the buttock muscles and the whole of the pelvic region. Allow stillness to occupy, consume and to hold the spine and the back of the body. The belly, the ribs, the chest. Allow stillness to move down your arms. Up the neck and through the face. Crown of head, sides of head, back of head. Allow stillness to hold the entire body. And within this holding, know that there's nothing more required of you. End of your practice. There's nothing to be done right now. There's nowhere you need to be. There's nobody you need to answer to. Nobody to please. Just by allowing yourself to be here is more than enough. And within this beautiful allowing, within this freedom, which is at the heart of your yoga nidra, your yogic sleep, set your attention free to move upon the breath. And on the inhale, perhaps the breath is moving up the front of the body. And on the exhale, it descends down the back. Inhaling up the front. Exhaling down the back. And with each full cycle of your breath, the body settles a little deeper. It lets go a little further. And on the completion of the next full cyclic rhythm of your breath, the next time your awareness returns on the breath to the threshold of the toes and the soles of the feet, allow your awareness to reside there. And at the soles of the feet, within the deep stillness that holds your body, remember what it feels like to have the feet firmly grounded and rooted upon the earth. What it's like for your legs to be upon your feet, torso to be upon the legs, arms to be held by shoulders, and for the neck to grow effortlessly out of the torso and the head to balance upon the neck. Remembering what it feels like for gravity to flow with ease throughout the physical body. And you create an awareness of the essence of grounding that gravity brings with it. Feeling this grounding with deeply within muscle, bones and joints. Note where you experience this grounding the most. Be there for a moment. And from this deep well of grounding, wherever it exists for you within your body, wherever it's experienced the most, encourage it to radiate out. This grounding radiates out until it fills your whole body. The whole body is grounded at the same intensity at where you experience the most. Whole body is grounded. And from this grounding, from this whole body awareness, softly bring your awareness to your heart. Take up residence in the heart space for a moment, the seat of your intuition. As your awareness lightly rests here, witness and welcome whatever, if anything, that may choose to arise in the space of the heart. And from this open and welcoming space of the heart, allow your awareness to begin to radiate out, back out through the whole of the body. Allow it to become greater than the body and to extend into the environment that surrounds you. Within the extension of your awareness, allow it to begin to softly transition to a more everyday, a more engaged awareness. This awareness begins to influence your breath into being a little fuller, a little more conscious. Feel how the breath awakens the body. It stirs stillness. It stirs the stillness at the toes to welcome the feet back, fingers greeting the hands, up into the neck where chin rolls shoulder to shoulder. As the feet come together, extending of the arms up overhead and behind, begin as your feet, point your toes and your feet and your legs. Take a big inhale, tighten belly, shoulder, fingers to bring the whole body. Exhale, release. Right arm remains extended, left to belly, fold in the left knee. Roll to your right for a moment, eyes closed. Once you feel steady, gently push up. Any seated variation being welcomed. Eyes remaining closed. Coming to the end of your practice, take a moment to note any response to your practice, any difference to the start. Drawing the palms together, we begin to rub the palms, create a little heat. Placing the hands over the eyes, gently cup. Light massage on the eyes, the nose, the cheekbone, the temple. Taking the hands to a small distance away from the eyes. And gently blink the eyes open, gaze into the palms. Namaste. Thank you all so much. Hope you had a good practice. Enjoy the rest of your day. I look forward to seeing you at your next practice. Thank you.